Well, my box came smashed. Opened it up, found the controller was smashed. You probably just glue that back in there somehow. Anyway, there's the bouncy little car. All right, just a quick walk around of this thing. LDRC Super Car, or Super Speed 99. Came with a wheel wrench, one lug nut. Took the screws out of the battery compartments for the transmitter and the battery compartment on here because who needs them? It will stay shut pretty well. Came with a lithium ion battery with a weird connector, so I'll have to clip that off and put something else in there for different batteries. Friction shocks, non-beadlock, non-foam wheels. They're vented. They're glued on. They got bushings with those goofy dog bone axles. I like the rear axle design. I like the pumpkin for some reason. I don't know what it is. Looks realistic to me. Plastic everything. Did notice that the motor and servo pretty close to each other. Big motor, by the way. You can see that in there. It's a massive can on that thing. Steering has little stops, and they kind of interfere with the edges of the shocks, so they kind of get caught right there. It's more noticeable on this side, I think. Right there, kind of just bumps against it. But maybe we'll get more angle out of the steering if I trim that little tab off of the knuckle there. But lots of Phillips hardware. Some hex in here, I think. I saw some somewhere. No, it's all Phillips. Lots of shock placements. If you want to change up where your shocks are mounted, especially in the rear here. I thought it was just 4 or 5 holes, but no. There's like 2 rows of screw holes to put the shock in, which I don't know why you'd want to do that until you put some friction or some oil dampened shocks on here. Tires are pretty soft, no foam, so I'm sure they're gonna, fold over and kind of grip, but there's not a whole lot of grip in the lugs, but that's okay. The wheels are kind of neat, kind of like a wagon wheel design. Too bad they're not beadlocks. Again, more plastic, more Phillips screws. Well, we'll get the battery charge up and see how it actually runs. So just to compare my other LDRC RC car, transmitter, similar, but a lot less functionality with that one. Looks like we can't turn the headlights on or off, can't adjust motor speed or steering angle, of course. But, chrome wheel, not broken. Black wheel, broken. Here's a kind of a scale comparison. They're about the same size. I mean, it's supposed to be 1/18 scale, but I'd say the Super Car is a lot bigger than 1/18 scale. Unless it's just that much bigger than a Miata. Compared to my 1/24 scale UDI-RC Snow Leopard, which is supposed to be 1/24 scale. It's a little bit bigger. So yeah, about 1/18 scale, if you want to compare the scales, but I don't know, if you compare the size of these dudes' heads to these dudes' heads, something ain't right. Okay, red light came off on the charger, so it's ready to go. Kind of put this in here horizontally because it sits in here with the on-off switch, which is kind of weird. Just kind of tuck all this in there. Somewhere. Over here? Sure. There, you can kind of see the battery poking through the hole there. Alright. 2 AA's in there. Red light's flashing. Flip that on. Immediately goes to the left to bring it back to the right. That's why that thing was dialed all the way to the right. I have to adjust the horn on the servo. Steering's nice and slow. Got some good power though. Yeah, maybe not. All right, first rip. Not very good slow speed control. Oh, yeah. So I watched Discipline RC's video and his had forward brake reverse. Mine is forward reverse. And slow speed control, it's kind of possible. It's a little jumpy. Barely touching the throttle. Yeah. So let's see how it does over an obstacle, shall we? So if you want a quick and easy rock crawler course that I found, drink trays. They work amazingly well, especially when you're at work just screwing around, as I am right now. Let's hit throttle. Yeah, doesn't like to get up and over stuff. Just wants to jump as you got too much throttle input. So more like a rock bouncer, I guess. It'll climb over stuff though. As you test my 24s, my 18s out of the box with one of these drink trays, just to see how well they do. This thing, yeah, it just wants to drive over it. That's full speed though. Not bad. I mean, it's bad for crawling, but for trailing, sure, why not? Even though it's not that fast. Have to look into doing some upgrades, possibly. So it's not quite throttle brake reverse, but it kind of is. So if you're going full speed in forward, then jam it into reverse, it stops. But if you let it go for a second and then hit reverse, it'll go forward and backwards. Just can't, full tilt and then jam it. It stops. So that's my review of this little thing. It's not great. It's not even that good, but it's got potential. Just needs a better ESC, some better shocks. I mean, you can't get any worse, at least. But for 40 bucks, I mean, you really can't complain. At least you get this nice, nice caged body. That's pretty much it. So it's their first crawler. They didn't do very good at it, but maybe I can turn it into a drift buggy.